our editor, John Nicholls, and our executive producer, Ryan Goldberg.
Jeremy, if you just want to get us started, could you please talk, just tell us about how this project came about and how you did this? Yeah. Can you just talk about how everything got started with the project and what inspired you to write this?
I have 2 kids. And I was itching to make this is my second feature, and I was itching to make something after another project that was close to getting done, fell apart. And then I decided I wanted to make a big ensemble, something that I could do simply, didn't require a lot of actors' time. And that night went home and was chatting to my wife and was reading through a parenting magazine and went, holy shit, that's the best topic ever for an ensemble film. And I hadn't seen it done in a way that was interesting to me yet. And then, so I just kind of wrote up a one-pager for a bunch of different story ideas I had that I wanted to do, and then just kind of wrote a list of cast and actors that I wanted to work with and do it. And so I just kind of sent them the one-pager and a list of ridiculous rules for how we were going to make the movie. And if they wanted to get involved, then they could. And if not, then they can just politely tell me to fuck off and perhaps we'll get something else in the future. And everyone said yes, which was amazing. So that's how we got started.
Well, to add to that, this is also a question for the cast as well. Was it something that when you were working, you said that you kind of had an idea of who you wanted to work with in mind. When you wrote the script, did you leave it open to allow them to kind of bring their own personality? In this sense, can you also talk about this one?
We have 2 mics. I mean,
No, there's more.
yeah, I mean, there was. I mean, I cast first and then I wrote, for the most part. And so there's a lot of collaboration. There's a lot of me saying, this is what I want to do. And a lot of the cast are parents as well. So, and then I'm sure they'll speak to this. So I wanted them to throw ideas and stuff that was interesting to them. And so it was a big collaboration all over the place.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jeremy, we went out and had lunch, and you kind of talked to me about the idea, and I was in right from the get-go. It's such a great idea, and I think everybody relates to it, you know? And I would work with Jeremy a million times over. We worked together on his first feature, which was a blast, and yeah, it was sort of, he just had to tell me, do you want to work together, and I was sort of in.
Zoe, Shannon, and I are best friends and have been for many, many years, and it was our desire to just be in a movie together and be able to do something together. We've been through a lot together, and so the fact that we could and do something that speaks to us. Shannon and I had a baby at the same time.
Not together.
No, no.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. But it was almost a snowball effect. So once Zoe talked to us, Jeremy talked to us, and then it was just a snowball effect of who signed on. It was fantastic.
I just wanted to quickly just share a really quick story. The last time Amanda, Zoe, and I were in Santa Barbara was 5 years ago, almost to the day. And it was for Amanda's birthday. We were living in LA in a terrible, terrible, tiny little apartment. We didn't have any, okay, we probably shouldn't be going into detail, but let's just say. And we drove to Santa Barbara for Amanda's birthday. And we were just about to go home to Toronto. We're like, are we ever going to be back here? I don't know. And we were always hoping that we were going to be back. And if someone could have just told us on that day that we were going to be back, the 3 of us, starring in a film in Santa Barbara.
She's not telling the full story. We got lost and we went to a beach and we threw pebbles in the ocean, and we promised each other that we would come back and be big stars in a movie one day. And so thank you.
Thank you.
I just think we should all make a movie about that, shall we? It's probably better. Probably better than the one we just watched. I was just really lucky that Zoe could do a really good British accent, because my American accent is shit. That's the only reason I got in the movie. It probably is, isn't it? Because you told him that you knew me and you liked me. No, I was very lucky. I got just a random email. I'd never worked with Jeremy before, and I was really lucky to get that email. And I know Zoe through working with her before, and working with Jeremy was great. Working on a movie like this is fantastic when you get your own feedback on a story that's literally just been written. You've got to think about it. I got this email not even this time last year, and the script hadn't even been written, and the idea had just come up. So to do that turnaround on a movie like this is pretty unique.
Tell everyone from your first word on a
yes.
page to the last day of filming, or at least post-production, even how long it took.
How long, what, the whole thing?
From the time you put your first word on the page till we say wrap, how long is that?
I probably started writing it in like February of last year, and we were shooting in May. But we had to shoot like weekends. We shot like 2 days here, 3 days there, another day here.
3 months?
We shot over 15 days over the course of 3 months. And so we started in May, wrapped at the end of August, and then started getting ready to submit to film festivals, and we finished the film at the beginning of the month. So it was pretty quick. In Toronto, in and around Toronto. The farmhouse is slightly not in Toronto, but a town called Kitchener. Yeah, so there's a Kitchener.
Yay!
Was it difficult to try to balance the storylines out? Or did you find that you were attracted to one more than the other, or?
No, I mean they all
Good
interested.
answer.
I have to say that I loved them all equally. No, I mean I really wanted to make sure I was trying to capture as broad of a range of stories as I could. I mean, in all reality, there's probably another dozen or 2 dozen different archetypes you could play with. But I wanted to make sure I had a range, so I wanted to have an older couple. I wanted to have newlyweds. I wanted to have a couple that have been together for a while, and then, a single mom and that kind of thing, and play with that. And so it was a matter of, yeah. I mean, that was. Am I answering the question? So yeah. So the balance. I mean, the balance is a bit tricky because an ensemble, as you know, it's like, and especially something like this where you've got a bunch of different actors who have different acting styles, and comedy. Blending it is the tricky part, and so we were just very mindful of that while we were shooting. And shooting over the course of several months, it was, it
I
was.
think our editor did
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I just say something before we move on? Zoe did this in Toronto, and so thank you all for coming. And if there are any contributors and anyone who has tweeted about this or Facebooked or, there's a lot of us in this movie, and we think about you every day. And I think that we work so hard because we wanted to rally for you, because we've had such a tremendous, overwhelming.
It was an audience-supported film.
Yeah.
So the film is yours, and we think about you, and we talk about you every day. And so, just thank you.
It's getting a little weird.
Yeah, no. If I call you, I don't. It's weird. If I hug you tonight. But so just a genuine from the cast and crew, thank you. It's unreal, the support, so that can get
If people come, if you love the movie, please, tell other people at the festival. There's 2 more screenings next weekend, and maybe so. Please tell other people that you loved it. Go on. We have a Facebook page. Go on and like it. Tell other people to like it. And tweet us and whatnot. For a small movie like ours, it means the world of difference.
Let me see if there's any questions from the audience. Go ahead.
What was the budget?
I am telling him not to answer that question.
Yeah, my executive producer will kill me if I buy me a beer after, and maybe I'll whisper it in your ear.
The film was made, it was an Indiegogo campaign, which is the same as Kickstarter. And honestly, right from the beginning, a lot of the attention that Jeremy started off with, which was this, you have to pitch it right, and you have to keep people coming back and wanting to see it and wanting to come back to the page and say, please, maybe give us $25 here or there. But what happened is you start with just something, and you can't just leave it. You can't just make a video and say, give us money, and then wait 15 days and say the same video again. And so I think we had incentives over time. So at one point, if you go online, you can see Jeremy and Zoe. We hit a certain milestone.
The chipmunk.
There are chipmunk suits.
See that? Yeah.
So
We're a chipmunk too.
Yep.
Money for this movie?
they're willing to go to any length.
We went into the public.
We were trying to find ways to grab attention that cost no money, and our pride is
We
worth.
kept offering people nuts on the street in our chipmunk outfits.
We'll move on from that.
Yeah.
But needless to say, we reached our goals, and we were really happy with everything that came out of it. And here we are.
Were any of the children your children? The black child was mine.
her daughter is my daughter, the one in the bouncy chair and whatnot. On the plate, yeah. And my son was the lesbian's son.
Gage's daughter is my daughter.
The one in the picture that at the beginning.
There is this common industry thing about not working with children and animals. Were the children well behaved?
More or less. Yeah, I mean, the kind of my rule for the kids was to not have any expectations of making them do anything specific. So
No
it was like,
juggling and...
yeah, so that way it's like it's just the scenes didn't have to revolve around them doing anything or hitting any marks or cues. It was like we kind of just rolled with it. Because, I mean, you can speak, Amanda's son was on set, so.
It was, as an actor, it was a bit difficult, and especially as a new mother, never ever having worked with my child, it was difficult because the scene, the very, very first scene, he fell at one point and hit his head, and I was torn. I was like, do I check on him, or do I keep acting? Oh, no, I'll check on him, because I'm a mom. So it was one of those things where, but it was kind of lovely, because real natural moments come out of it when you have a child, because you can't fake it, so it was great.
Hi, I found out about this movie about Twitter, so how do you guys feel like the connection with the fans? Like, how do you feel like Twitter is important, like in this, like, Facebook and social media?
For a small film like this, it's absolutely crucial.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the model of making movies is kind of changing somewhat, and social media, I think, is an integral part of this movie. Like we were at My Awkward Sexual Adventure last night. We were talking the movie. Yeah, the movie. Yeah, because obviously everyone in Canada just talks about sex and weird sex things, and that was a Canadian movie. And even the lead guy, the writer there, he had heard about our project through Twitter, and it was totally on his radar. And it's just changed the way everything happens, even like the Indiegogo campaign. I mean, really, it was through Twitter. It was through a lot of us who are actors. We might have followers, through other various projects, and you tweet about something that you're doing. And it's interesting to see how you can, create that, integral force towards something and create something that you want to create. And it's kind of how this happened, really, isn't it? Through Twitter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Twitter is a big part.
Yeah. Yay!
Thank you, Tom.
There's one back there.
I just was going to say two things, Laura. One is that I just thought the blend of the tension and the attraction, and with the characters were just so well suited. The cast was well suited, and the writing was well suited to them in the coming together, going parts of the film. I thought it just kept me spinning. I didn't know which way things were going to go with Leslie Couple. I didn't know where things were going to go with the couple. You were drawn together. The other thing I was just going to say is there's some intellectual bar or something in Toronto where you guys are working on the Canadian Sex Film Festival.
Something in the water, really. Not that we're aware of, but if there is one, can you let us just tweet about it? We'll make sure we hit it. Anyone? Yeah.
So what's your next project, and are you going to all work again together?
Yeah, I love them. I'm working on something. I don't want to mention it specifically because it's a jinx thing, but I have another ensemble thing I'm toying with right now.
And I've not heard about it, so I'm clearly not part of it.
Thanks for making it awkward.
I've heard that.
Thanks for making it worse.
Are you doing any of the other film festivals, like Palm Springs or Sundance?
We're still waiting here on a lot, so hopefully that's the plan.
We just started.
Yeah, this is our first, so thank you for coming and seeing.